Chair. Mr. Chair.
I'm just trying to be fair, gentlemen.
Someone should...
I call the Honourable Phil Heatley.
The wrong Phil.
Good choice.
Mr. Chair, tens of thousands of people in Whangarei would agree with you there with that choice, and I thank you for
It's time to go, Mr. Heatley.
asking me to rise and to talk about this Resource Management Act reform bill. The provisions clearly are to further improve the resource consent regime. There is a government SOP, as members should be aware, to split the bill into three: the Resource Management Amendment Bill, the Local Government Auckland Transitional Provisions Amendment Bill number 2, and of course the third, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Amendment Bill, Mr. Speaker, and we support this wholeheartedly. You'll be aware that during the last election campaign that resulted in the Labour Party reaching those dizzying heights of 29%, which I believe they've reached again today after some time out, so I congratulate them, that we talked much about the RMA process and how we wanted to see that process work better for everyone, that there would be timely decisions, and not necessarily a yes, and not necessarily a no, but a decision made in a reasonable time frame that made sure that decisions were proper, followed a reasonable process, and final. The idea that particularly Green Party advocates and others would consider the next best thing to a win a significant delay, because that's how they work. That sort of idea or concept we wanted to essentially set aside. We don't think it's right that extreme green advocacy groups such as the Green Party should decide that, well, if we can't stop it, let's delay it for 10 years. We think that's essentially inappropriate. So, Mr. Speaker, this bill works with our 2009 Phase 1 reforms and looks forward to our Phase 2 reforms. And the bill will reduce costs, uncertainty and delays that have dogged the RMA for decades. Now, members will recall the Waterview project, which under the current Act was a project of national significance which had a 9-month consenting time frame. And that worked very, very well for nationally significant projects, and there's other opportunities as well. What this bill introduces is a 6-month consenting process for what we're calling medium-sized projects. Now, there's about, that's actually a turn of phrase, I can't recall, I know I was involved, a turn of phrase that was developed, medium-sized projects with a considerable amount of thought and consultation with the Minister. There's about 1,600 medium-sized projects each year, and they include all these types of projects, all of which I think the Green Party members are opposed to. We'll just check them. Subdivisions. I believe the Green Party wants more housing, but is generally, at a local level, opposed to subdivisions. Supermarkets. I believe the Green Party do eat, but they are opposed to large supermarket developments, industrial developments, and also any infrastructure projects. So if it has anything to do with infrastructure, oil and gas, exploration, mining, aquaculture, irrigation, supermarkets or subdivisions that the Green Party oppose, it's possible they will be medium-sized projects which will attract the 6-month consenting process. So the 6-month statutory time limit for local authorities is that time which they will have to reach consent decisions, reduce costs, uncertainties and delays. And at this point I would like to correct the member Eugenie Sage when she said that the Minister had the power under this Act for medium-sized projects subject to 6-month consenting to call in those consents. Mr. Chairman.
I call the Honourable Member
Mr. Chair.
Phil Twyford.
Well, wait a minute, the others got 2 in a row.
Thank you. That's an excellent change. I want to make some comments, Mr Chairman, about one element in this bill.